live.
He's been playing with the screen. Just see the little countdown thingy. That was his brilliant idea. Oh my gosh. There, I had to shut my sound off. Sorry about that. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us again today. It is a cool one here in New Brunswick. Oh my goodness. It's a little on the brisk side. I think it was, what, 13 degrees this morning? It was burr. For July, it was burr. Yeah. So I don't know what it is down around the South Shore. Faye Reed, you could probably tell me better than anybody what it's like down there. But yeah, it was a little brisk up here today. So I don't think too many people are at the beach. Shediac's going to be quiet this weekend.
Yes.
Even though it is, Canada Day weekend and whatnot. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little too chilly to be on the beach. So I don't know what people are going to be up to, but our friends south of the border celebrating their 4th of July tomorrow, and we're celebrating tomorrow too. My daughter, Dominique,
Yeah.
it's her birthday tomorrow. She was born on the 4th of July. And lots of news today. Holy crow. Couple of things.
Yeah, I have a list.
He has a list.
I have to bring out my list.
Things I got to remember to tell you guys. He's holding it up. Feels like a TV show.
Cards.
Yeah, major cue cards.
I'm gonna need a big marker.
You're gonna have to attach it to me. Quite a few things this week. We've got stamps galore on the website. Those all went up. We got a stencil shipment this week. Those all went up. What else happened on the website? Oh yeah, the new pattern, the hot sauce pattern went up on the website this morning.
Yes.
So it's now available. And the membership group got their new pattern for the month of July.
It's right behind her.
Yeah. It's called Autumn Gathering. And so far, everybody seems to be downloading it. That's good. I'm glad you like it. It's a nice piece. I'm rather pleased with it. The pattern for hot sauce, if you haven't seen it, those of you that are not part of the membership group, it is available on the website. It is a huge pattern. There's 4 sheets of line drawings. There's 18 pages total for that pattern. It's huge. It's a huge pattern. So that went up. What else? Oh, brush guys, before I forget.
Yes.
You guys have been asking about my fugly brushes. Where is it? Where's my fugly brush? There it is. Okay, this is a really fugly brush. This is my fugly brush. Its real name is a Dynasty Encaustic Oval. The brush guys have them in stock in all sizes right now. They also have my riggers in all sizes right now. They have all of my liners, the Dynasty Micron, the 50-aught, the 10-aught, and the 20-aught. They have those in all sizes. Those are all available now. And
your Stencil Pro.
My Stencil Pro brushes, the ones with the red handle, they have those in stock, and they have all but the 1/4 inch, I believe. Is the only one that they don't have. And they also have my signature brush, the black handled one with the extra little bristles in the center, all of them in all sizes. So they have full stock of it. So if you're looking for any of those, now would be a great time to do it. And don't forget to use your coupon code, which is Tracy M. So capital T, Racy, capital M. And that will give you an additional discount. And all of the brushes on the Brush Guys site are already reduced, for the most part, about anywhere from 35 to 40%. So they're already a great price. So you're going to get an even better price with that coupon code.
And Andrea George just joined your Creating
with
Tracy.
Oh, awesome. Good to have you, Andrea. I can now see the chat box over here instead of having to squint.
Green...
Yeah, I see the big green bar. Yeah. So Andrea, welcome. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a really fun month. We've got a couple of challenges for you. We've got new video coming up. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up for the members. Today, we're going to paint a phone stand. It's I haven't done a skull in a long time, so I thought it'd be a fun one to do. So we're going to do Skulls Can Be Pretty. And I added to that pattern this week. It's been a very busy week. So the design we're doing today is this one. It's really cute. It's just a skull with a string of pearls. I like that. But I added to it this week with the raven skull.
Raven.
So I added that to the pattern. So there's two designs in that pattern. So, and that one is up on the website, and I put that one on sale this week too. So, but before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys something that I haven't done a lot of. Is just a specific technique, especially when it comes to stencils. But I wanted to show you something really, really fun.
You missed something.
What did I miss?
Deb?
Oh, well, I haven't talked about Deb. Where's Andy yet?
Okay.
We'll get to it. So I want to talk about the brushes. That was
okay. You want to talk about brushes?
I want to talk about brushes. So,
I will switch cameras.
a good idea.
There you go.
So I wanted to show you guys a really cool technique, one that I think will prove valuable for you. And it can simplify a lot of things. So I wanted to show you this really quick because you'll find yourself using this technique for a lot of different patterns. So I'm going to take a little bit of warm white on my stencil brush, and I'm going to stencil a few of these dots. The bigger ones, I think, would be the best for this purpose. So I'm just using warm white on this. Doesn't have to be perfect.
I love the hot sauce pattern. Gonna have to order it. Where do I get the surface?
The surfaces for the hot sauce patterns are available from Sheila Landry at tollpaintingdesigns.com. And she does such a beautiful job of them. They're ready to paint. Take them out of the package and they're ready to paint. So I've put, oh my goodness, just some white down, and I made polka dots with a polka dot stencil. Go figure. So I'm going to drop it back into place. And when that paint is dry, I'm going to pick up a little bit of, let me grab another stencil brush here. Good gravy. So I'm going to grab a little bit of Bahama Blue on another stencil brush. And I'm going to just go around the curve, follow the curve of that circle, just on one side, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like that. And you can do this a couple of times, and you can come back in and brighten the other side. I'm going to do that in just a second, but I want you to see how this looks. So I'm literally just making a smile on one side. So now I've got, I don't know how well this shows up, but it creates a shadow on one side. So if I were to drop that stencil back in place, and this time I'm going to use a little bit of titanium white. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with the titanium white.
Julie Crosby. Still waiting on postman bringing my stencil brushes and stencils. They got the slow boat, I think.
I know it's a guessing game half the time with shipments. Speeds vary. I had one lady in Boston got her shipment in 4 days from the time we shipped it.
Really?
And then a lady in Maine who was actually closer to us, it took a month and a half. So, it just, who knows? So I put a little bit of titanium white on the other side using the same technique, sort of that half smile. So look what happens. Now we've got bubbles. So then you can just take your favorite liner brush or rigger and just put a little stroke on the upper side with a little titanium white.
And boom.
And boom, you have bubbles.
You have bubbles, you have pearls,
Bubbles, pearls, any spherical object you can do that with. It's a simple technique. You only have to have one stencil to do it with and a couple of stencil brushes with a little bit of paint. But I thought you might like to see that simple little technique. And if you wanted to elaborate on it, go ahead and, put in a few of those little tiny bubbles, sort of misty with just a little bit of color, not a lot. And then now you've got fizz. So it's a simple technique. It's very effective and it can save you a ton of time. So just wanted to give you a quick stenciling technique that you might find useful. I enjoy doing that. It's fun. So, you can do that with a 1/4 inch.
Bob's there.
Yeah, there's Bob. Say hi, Bob. You can do that with a 1/4 inch polka dot stencil and make pearls and whatnot. So there's all kinds of fun ways too.
I did a whole design and floating took forever. This would sure speed up the process.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it would. That was Brenda Owen.
Now I gotta have the polka dot stencil. You know what? We have to have all the toys.
Yes.
That's how it works. So we're going to paint this little phone stand today. These are so much fun. I love painting these. They're a fast gift if you want to make a gift for a friend. And they're uniquely practical too, which you can use these for all sorts of things. They can hold your phone. They can hold a recipe card, your favorite recipes, all kinds of fun stuff. They're super easy and such a great little surface. So the first thing we're going to do is create some background texture. And I'm going to do that with a little bit.
I think they're figuring out that the chat box is actually them. Yeah, I put the chat box in there so that way people who are watching the whole screen can still see what's going on in the chat.
Yeah.
So they can see questions, or if somebody's having troubles, they can respond if need be.
So I'm going to pick up a little bit of glaze. This is Prussian blue. Not a color that we as painters tend to use all that much because it's such a strong color. So I'm picking up a little bit of that Jo Sonja's glaze and I'm thinning that out. And before I do anything foolish, I better grab my shop towel. I'm going to make a little ruse. He has coffee.
Everything is right in the world.
So
people are safe.
People are safe. Yeah. So I crumpled up a piece of shop towel. I want a unique pattern in it. And I'm going to take that Prussian blue, that thinned Prussian blue, and I'm very quickly going to slap it on with that fast dry glaze all over the place, like so. It's sloppy and it's wet. And then I'm going to take that little rosette that I've made and I'm just going to blot the surface. So it's going to create a very soft texture in the background. There we go.
I have 8 phone holders painted for more to go. I have to order another dozen.
They're awesome. They make such great gifts. So I'm going to dry this, but it leaves behind this very subtle texture in the background, which I like better than just having a flat surface. It's got to have something going on back there. If you want to, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from throwing a stamp in the background either, if you wanted to.
Oh. Linda Franco's painting with her mother today.
Yes. Linda's mom is visiting her from Florida.
Ah.
So I have rather nice little background in place there. I'm rather pleased with that. It's not too over the top, but it creates a little bit of texture. So it's a nice, so from there, we're going to take that Prussian blue and we're going to put a little float of it in and around this skull.
I know, people don't like skulls. Why don't people like skulls?
Well,
I don't understand.
So I'm just putting a float of that Prussian blue in and around the flowers. The nice part about doing this now is that if you go up over top of your line drawing, it's okay. You don't have to touch up flowers. So it's just getting it done.
Well, thank you for popping in, Beth. Can't stay.
That's okay. Life gets in the way.
Skulls remind them of their mortality.
That could be.
Good. Yeah.
So I dressed for the occasion today. I got my favorite skull bracelet. I have a little sugar skull bracelet, and I have a skull ring. I have lots of skulls. I have lots of skull jewelry.
Oh, you should tell them the story about putting a skull through an X-ray machine at the airport.
I almost got arrested.
You got arrested for an acrylic skull. How?
Well, I didn't actually get arrested.
No,
I almost
but
got arrested.
Still funny.
That wasn't what I got cuffed for.
That was the cornstarch. Big bag of cornstarch going through TSA. Yeah, you're gonna get stopped.
Well, I don't. They probably wouldn't stop me for the cornstarch, but they did stop me for the box knife.
Yeah.
So I've got a shadow of that Prussian blue all the way around the outside edge of this little guy. And then I'm going to take a little bit of asphaltum. You knew
rebel,
that.
Tracy.
I get into trouble a lot.
Oh, even the emojis pop up on the chat box.
They do.
I did not know that. Either.
So I'm going to thin out a little asphaltum. And I'm going to float that over top of that Prussian blue. Just a little. Don't want it too dark, but we're just toning it a little bit.
You have more near arrests at the airport than the average Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have some very funny stories about traveling.
I am not surprised. The goal of every trip is to make a customs agent smile.
Well, I've made them laugh.
Hey, if you can make them laugh, you're getting through.
I've made them laugh. I've also come up against a couple that,
Never a dull moment when Tracy travels.
couldn't smile if their life depended on it, but for the most part, I mean, they're just folks doing their job, so, I don't give them a hard time.
Well,
but
Kathy Rain broke her ankle.
Ouch, Kathy.
So she's so excited to actually be at her painting desk for the first time since she broke it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Ankles take forever to heal.
Went to Michael's here in Springfield yesterday. They had no asphaltum.
They don't carry it.
Oh,
Michael's does not carry it. Michael's carries the top 90 colors or top 100 colors, and asphaltum does not fall into that category. I have no idea why. I was so happy. I opened a box today that was coming back from.
6 bottles of asphaltum.
I have 6 bottles of asphaltum. I'm a happy camper. So I just put a little bit of asphaltum around that, and now we're going to start base coating this little fella. And I'm going to start with the skull because I want that to be the first part that we paint. I'm going to base it with, I need a filbert.
It is a small surface, so you might have to hold it up to the camera.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to do that, you know. Airport agents don't easily smile.
Oh, I've made a couple of them smile. I've made a lot of them shake their head.
Well, when Dot was able to walk at the airport, that was a lot of the security staff don't know how to handle the service dog going through security.
No.
So it's pretty entertaining when you hold out the leash and you're expecting them just to take it and hold on to it. And they're
What are you doing?
You have to hold my dog.
Yeah.
Well, I get checked out.
Yeah.
Do we have it? Aline Albuquerque? Apparently became a subscriber about an hour ago.
Nice. So I'm just base coating in this skull with a coat of warm white. And as you can see, it is not a neat and tidy coat. I'm just getting some color in there.
I believe that was random polka dots, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The stencil she used was random polka dots.
And oh yeah, I put a big bunch of our best-selling stencils in the M2 stencils on sale this week. So there's a little bit of a discount in there for you, and the prices have already been adjusted. So
Edgy.
so warm white for this base.
Warm white?
Yep. I have 6 bottles of warm white. I'm happy.
You have 6 bottles of warm white and 6 bottles of titanium.
Yep. Mama needs paint.
She opened up a box and it was 6 bottles of almost every color. Hello
Makes
from
milk.
Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois.
Carol Archer.
Hey, Carol.
What's this? A pin chaser? It's a pin chaser. My aunt used to be pin chaser at... Oh! Bowling alley. Got it. Pin chaser. And someone thought it'd be funny to roll a ball down the gutter while she was fixing one of the triangles.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Broke her ankle 6 months off for her. Off her feet.
Yeah.
Yep. That would do it.
Broken ankles do take time to heal.
Never broke an ankle.
Well,
Blew out my knee.
you've blown out your knee. I have too.
Dislocated my shoulders.
Yep.
Broken fingers.
Yep.
All of them. I've had stitches on all my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I should have got stitches on my face.
Mm-hmm. Things you don't do to your mother. No, I've never.
The other stuff.
No, I've never broken an ankle. Thank God. The worst I've done to an ankle is sprain it, and that takes forever to heal up properly. But a broken ankle is, it's a weight-bearing joint, and they take a very long time to heal properly. And then you've got to go through physio in order to get it to, get that joint back to optimal function.
Nathan is here watching you today.
Nathan, the kitty cat.
Oh, Karen. Yeah, we got some good prizes today.
We do.
Yeah.
There's 3 goodie bags over there?
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 3 goodie bags.
And the goodie bags are courtesy of Stampendous, paintingwithdeb.com, and Decort.
Yeah.
So there's a beautiful set of Decort stencils in there and a stamp from Painting with Deb and Stampendous. And Deb has got an awesome sale on for the holiday weekend. It's good until the 8th of July. So if you're looking for a variety of stamps, or actually what you should go look at is some of her stamp and doodle kits are amazing. Really, really, really cute. And Miss Sandy's got a great price on those, on the heat it tools. Like my heat gun.
Oh, nice.
She's got those on sale. I don't know if they're on sale, but it's a great price. Because I know up here they're almost $40, and I think hers are $28.
I broke my foot thanks to Tracy. She was around to help me out. Oh, that's Karen.
Yeah.
When did Karen break her foot?
She fell off a rug when we were in Germany.
Oh. Thank you for my goodie bag. It came earlier this week, and it's awesome. Can't wait to paint the crown piece.
Excellent. I'm always like to hear when people get their goodies. It's nice to know they get there in one piece.
Only broken bones I've ever had were a couple of toes, my wrist, and of course it was my writing hand. Ouch.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, I cracked the growth plate in my wrist.
Yeah.
I didn't break anything, surprisingly, because it takes a lot to crack a growth plate.
I had 10 compression fractures, 5 in each wrist.
Bike accident?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's when I discovered.
You were little when I did that.
Yeah,
you were little. If it was in
little.
Germany, yeah, I was little. Because the last time I went to Germany, I was about 21.
Okay, finally got my skull painted. Jeez, that took forever.
And the coast is too.
Oh, it's warm white, so it's...
Gotta lay it on thick.
Yep. Well, and the thing I love about doing this kind of thing, especially skulls, they don't have to be perfectly base coated. They actually look better when they're not. And this one is so fun looking. They're just fun to do. So I'm going to dry this real quick. Like I said, this is that heated tool that Sandy's got on sale. Oh, they're $35 up here.
Sure.
And they're $28 on her site.
Actually, I have a question.
What?
How do you get the bone texture?
Oh, that's just how I put the paint on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like that porous look.
Yeah, it's the blue underneath, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I'm putting the paint on. I don't worry when I'm under here because this all gets shaded anyway.
Yeah.
But I put the paint on following the shape of the bone so that it does create a little bit of texture, but it's also that bright white against that blue background. So I'm going to use a little bit of that Prussian blue on a round brush. And I want to put just a wash of this color in here to darken this eye socket a little bit.
Georgie Wagner got her heat done yesterday.
Love it. Love it.
She got it from Sandy.
So that little bit of Prussian blue in there just darkens these spaces nicely. And you want them a little darker because, there's a lot of stuff going on in this. And then in behind that flower, got a little.
Never broke an ankle, but I did fall and dislocate my shoulder. Didn't know I was falling until I hit the ground.
It's usually how it goes.
Wow.
So now we're going to, I'm going to try that again. Good gravy, Marie.
I tried to tackle a tree.
Yeah. And a boat.
And a boat.
Yep.
Oh, that was my collarbone.
Yeah, you ran into a boat.
But no, when I originally dislocated my shoulder, I tried to tackle a tree.
Okay, well, was there alcohol involved?
No, there was no alcohol involved.
Can't really think of a reason why anybody would tackle a tree. It's not going anywhere.
We were doing section attacks in 2 feet of snow.
Okay.
And I was running through the snow.
Ah.
And you know how Winnipeg snow gets.
Yep. Hard.
It didn't give when it should have gave. And
no, it never does.
Ended up tackling a tree.
Good for you. Well done, you. So I'm just shading underneath that cheekbone right there. And then there's a little indent here at the temple. And that's just a float of asphaltum. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Like so.
The tree flipped you off, Renee. Yeah. It was a rude tree.
It was a rude tree. So underneath all of those flowers.
You would say it was an ash. The delayed reaction.
So I'm just putting a shadow, and it's a weak one and not a really neat and tidy one, underneath all of those flowers. And then I'm going to switch to a smaller angle. And I'm going to put a little shadow underneath these eye sockets.
He got it.
Shameful.
Oh my lord, the police just showed up and served my 14-year-old daughter with a lawsuit from a gym class accident 2 years ago when a bouncy ball hit a girl in the head, and they're out for blood. Really? Wow.
So all of those little shadows that I put in there just define the shape of that skull. So now we're going to put some highlights in to further enhance this. And I'm using just a little bit of clean your brush. I'm using a little bit of titanium white. And this is going to clean up a few things. So if you've got any little rough edges, that little float. Are you okay?
Julie Crosby was just telling the story of how she dislocated her shoulder.
Ah, okay. Training with a dog at night wearing a training slave did not know he had taken me down until I saw stars.
I know that feeling all too well.
Yep.
I had the wind completely knocked out of me from a female Malinois. She was a little bigger than some of the boy Malinois. It's like she was getting extra food somehow.
Okay.
It's the one that kept escaping.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Very pretty girl.
Yeah.
But
Houdini.
Yeah. But yeah, we did some training and she knocked the wind right out of me. Because she grabbed the sleeve and her entire body weight went into my chest.
Ouch.
But she wouldn't let go of the sleeve. Knocked me down, knocked the wind out of me, and then proceeded to tug on me while I'm suffocating on my own breath.
So I'm just putting a little bit of that titanium white as a highlight. And I find that it gives you the opportunity to clean up a few little rough edges if you find things you're not really pleased with. This is a great time to do that. And I'm a little perturbed with this particular spot right here. The news wasn't happy with that. There we go.
Oh, this isn't a Mac, right? I can't do that. I got too many platforms to work with.
So there is our skull. Now we can let this dry. We can come back and deepen things as we need to, but we're going to get started on these little flowers over here because I'm liking the flower thing. I love painting these little flowers. They're easy. So I'm going to take some warm white and I'm going to just put a single coat of warm white on the centers of these flowers. Because I'm going to use a yellow for the centers and the yellow is very transparent. So if I have a white base down, the yellow is going to cover a lot better than if I try to go over that blue. I'll end up with green centers.
Kathy Rand, I'm feeling very fortunate. This is my very first broken bone.
Oof. Wow. You are lucky.
I've had sprains, but not breaks
Yeah.
until now. Wow.
Usually when I break something, it's because I did something stupid. I know well, crashing the bike, that wasn't stupid. That was a matter of survival. I was trying to get out of traffic and down I went.
Yeah. I can attest that every broken bone that I've had was doing something stupid.
Yep.
My knee wasn't. That was an accident.
Yeah, my knee was an accident as well.
Let's see if this helps.
Yeah. Seeing too many shadows.
There's too many shadows in there. So I had to turn that off.
There we go.
My labs ran to me, didn't stop, broke tibia, fibia.
Ow.
Right at the ankle.
Ow.
Dislocated the knee.
Ow.
3 months in bed and six in physiotherapy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Ouchie. Wow. Don't stand between me and my brother's 80-pound lab. And the tennis ball he had just thrown, she mowed him down flat. Yeah. Don't get between any sort of retriever and something that needs to be retrieved. Don't give a working dog a purpose and then tell him he can't.
Yeah.
Because he's going to do it.
And if you're in the way.
If you're in the way.
Yeah. Kind of like Dot, she drove over my foot the other day.
Just to get that dad.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. She ran over me to get to my husband. It's like feeling the love.
And Dot's doing good.
Yeah.
She's not feeling the best today, but she's I think Dad took her out for a walk, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Never broke
Her
a bone.
buddy.
Who sells media fluid in Canada? Country Bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Country Bear. Gotta go to Country Bear. For the,
Yep. And it's
fluid pelts.
country-bear-wood.com. So I'm going to dry that real quick. There's a reason why I put that white down first. Because these centers are going to be yellow. And yellow over top of blue is going to look like green. I don't want them to look green. I want them to look yellow. So I'm going to use a little bit of saffron yellow. It's an excellent substitute for diarrhea yellow.
See, I can still read at distance, so I can be further away from the screen.
Yeah.
I can still read it.
I give you 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
10 years and I need glasses?
Yep. I know what gene pool you come from, son.
Grampy didn't get glasses until he was...
Your grandfather was wearing glasses when he was in his 30s.
Well. Pepeo didn't wear glasses.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yep.
And
Only
he was
for
stubborn
reading.
Just like that.
Only for reading.
Oh, well. Do I read? Can I read?
Yeah, I know you can read.
I'm just going by the pictures.
Mm-hmm. So look at how bright that diarrhea is over top of that. Let me show you what happens if you put that diarrhea over top of that blue.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah, you get a muddy green cast. So
Looks like brown on
yeah,
camera.
it takes on a really green. So that's why I put that little bit of white underneath it so that we get that punch, that really bright yellow. We want that bright yellow.
You have to read menus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I do like food.
Yeah, it's Dominique's menu choice this weekend. So for tomorrow.
She hasn't made up her mind.
I don't know. I have no idea what she's decided on.
It's not always about visual acuity, it's about preventing eye disease early.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It starts with your arms not being long enough.
Yep. You run out of arm.
Gotta find your focal point.
Yep. Yeah, I ran out of arms a long time ago. Mine started going around 40.
Around 40?
Yeah. So now I want to put some I want a nice punch. Now in the pattern I used persimmon to put the shading on these, but it's not my color of choice these days. I'm a little bit obsessed with this orange flame. I like how it's got that in your face punch of heat. I love it. So I'm going to add a little bit of this orange flame. I mean, use persimmon if you have it. But I like in this orange flame. I love this punch of heat. And it just looks so great over that yellow.
I must be a fool to try painting again after giving up 15 to 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Due to vision and health problems.
Wow.
And a year and a half ago, I broke my right wrist. Now I'm going to try painting again.
Yay!
Yay!
So I'm putting that
Susan Tottenbach.
That little float of orange at the base of that yellow towards the bottom. Just love the heat of this. It's so vibrant. Pops right off of that surface.
We are going to have Wiener Schnitzel for supper.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Wiener Schnitzel?
Wiener Schnitzel. I made 8 pounds bacon this morning.
Bratwurst.
I made bacon. Put 8 pounds of
You
bacon
started
onto
curing
cure.
pork belly.
Yeah, it's not bacon yet, but
It's
it will
not
be.
bacon until it's smoked.
It will be. So I'm using, this is Brilliant Purple. This is going to be the color of one of my flowers.
Join the dark side. We have painted brushes.
Yes, we do. We have paint and brushes and all kinds of wonderful toys.
I had my cataracts done one at a time. So when I closed one eye, everything looked bright white. When I closed the other, everything looked dull white. Okay.
So that brilliant purple, something tells me I used the wrong color. Yep, I did. Oh well,
You used the wrong color?
I did. Hello.
What color
But that's
were you supposed
okay.
to use?
I was supposed to use like a light purple, like lilac or something. And
You
whoopsie.
went with a richer one?
I picked up the wrong purple. I was thinking purple and used the wrong one, but that's okay. It's a nice bright color. It'll work. We can make it work. It doesn't really matter what color these flowers are.
Brush guys are having a 4th of July sale.
Yep.
Nice.
And they've got all of my brushes in stock.
Yep.
I checked this morning.
Well, they could be gone by now.
Well, could be, but unlikely.
The way your audience shops.
So there's my purple. This is such a pretty purple. Looks a lot darker on top of that blue. It'll take another coat, methinks, to get nice opaque coverage.
Men have it easy, no menopause.
No, they don't have it easy. They gotta live with us.
I was gonna say something. No, we gotta live with a woman who's going through menopause. And try to survive.
Yep. A smart man will.
Yep. Smart man will adjust the thermostat accordingly.
And
Or
put
make
on
a
a
fire.
sweater. Or make a fire. Yeah, exactly. I just, like, all winter long, I would have prayed for a hot flash.
And it never came.
And it never came. And then the temperature suddenly goes to 30 plus degrees around here, and I am dying, having hot flashes every 15 friggin' minutes. Frippity frappin'. So, this purple is really strange. It's pretty though.
You liking it?
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It's not what I want, not what was supposed to go in there, but that's okay.
You can put whatever you want in
I
there.
know.
It's your pattern.
It's mine. I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
So, and this is why I know, because it was supposed to be this color, which is purple petal. So,
It doesn't even say the M word.
what's that? See, that's true. That's very true. So the next color I'm going to use is Cotton Candy. I love this tone. It's so pretty. It's a soft, buttery pink. And I'm thinking I should have probably put white underneath this, but it's okay. So what I did when I was designing this was I wanted to utilize all of the decor, the newest decor colors at the time. And so they all had this sort of, hard pressed to call them pastels. They're not really pastels, but these lighter values. And so I used each of them in turn to create one of the flowers. And I just whoopsie didn't use the wrong purple, but that's all right.
Sorry, Tracy. Do I get banned from your site and your YouTube channel if I confess that I've never had a hot flash?
No, I've known a few women that, that I still like, even though they've never had a hot flash. My mother-in-law was one of them. God rest her. She never had hot flashes either. She was always so puzzled, and she gave me a fan every time she sees me, because I was just, I was pretty sure that, those weather satellites were picking up this blinking red spot in the middle of New Brunswick every time I had a hot flash, because they were just brutal. They've calmed somewhat, but when the weather is really, really hot and humid, they seem to get worse. I have no idea why. So there's my Cotton Candy. And the other color I was going to use is this Aqua Sky. This is a really pretty blue. It's very similar to Bahama Blue, except this one's got a little less green in it. It's maybe one value different from Bahama Blue. It's a tiny bit darker. It's such a pretty blue. So I'm going to use that.
See, who says skulls can't be pretty?
Skulls can be pretty, especially when they're encrusted with diamonds.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yep, I have a lot of skull jewelry actually.
Yep.
And I love it all. One of my favorite pieces I got in New Mexico when I was down in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's such a great place. The group there was so much fun. And they took me out shopping in the center of town, and I found this little shop, and I found a necklace in there that I absolutely had to have. And it's just full of skulls. It's just the best piece of jewelry. I love it. So, yeah, I have quite a bit. But when I found this one, I was happy. I have a whole charm bracelet. That's all that's on it is skulls.
You got a ring, you got a bracelet, you got a couple
Bracelets. I have
bracelets.
several.
Yeah.
But my favorite, I have my Pandora skull bracelet. I have a Pandora bracelet that's just full of skulls. Love it. It's my favorite. Da, da, da. See, that's such a pretty blue. That sky blue or blue sky, aqua sky. That's what it's called. It's pretty. Very pretty.
What was it? I did side of a gas tank. One side was the skull of a werewolf,
Yep.
so a wolf skull,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side was a human skull.
Ooh, very pretty.
It was funky.
So this is the purple that I was supposed to use for this one. So I'm going to pull this one down here. I'm going to pull a little of that down here because this is what it's supposed to be. Such a pretty, pretty purple. And it covers nicely.
They're really liking your color choices.
They're bright and they're fun, colorful.
Summery.
Yes, very summery colors.
Very cool colors.
Yeah. It's all that, that Bahama blue in the background makes all the difference. And these little flowers, I mean, they're just a little multi-petaled flower. They don't necessarily represent any one particular type flower. I just happen to like the shape of them. Now we got one in here.
I'm wondering where that place you got the necklace, Las Cruces?
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a little shop on the square. It's just such a great little clothing store. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was a wonderful little shop.
Madam Safrenko is wondering what can you replace Aqua Sky with?
Bahama blue.
Bahama Blue!
Or blue, Salem blue will work too.
Oh, Sandy McTeer is joining the party late.
Hey, Sandy.
Looked at the clock and realized I was missing you.
Aw.
So here I am. Love this piece.
These are just fun. These little skulls are just fun to paint.
Oh, now I will need to go hunt for a ring with a skull in it, with an amethyst in the eyes. Bad influence, Tracy.
Oh, where did I see one? Oh, it's a dream something or other. I saw one on Facebook actually not too long ago. You know, they have those little Facebook ads for jewelry. I saw one on there.
See, I knew you were gonna bring it closer to
It's because I can't see it.
you.
So I need to paint this little one inside the eyeball right here. And I think it's going to be the cotton candy. It's just a small little flower and there's not much to it. So,
Cotton candy.
which is this soft pink.
Like that chalky pink?
Yeah,
Like
that
road chalk
chalky pink. Yeah, kind of. It's nice. It's a soft tone. Such a delicate color.
As a kid, I had a skull ring with red eyes. I loved that ring. My mother hated it, of course.
Of course. I have a charm on my bracelet that is a cup. It's a teacup of a skull. Little teacup. I love it. It's just so different.
What is that, purple?
This one here is purple petal, which was what that one was supposed to be. It might be yet. This because that's all I can see is this purple. I may have to repaint that one.
Just got to balance it.
Yeah, because that color is just, it's coming up, screaming off of there. So.
Not as much as the center of the flowers, though.
Well, they're supposed to, and they get subdued, but
Yeah.
the petals of this one are just too much for me. Considering all of the other colors.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
So
But that's okay.
That.
We're going to change that because it's throwing things off. I don't know why. It's a shading color. Hello. It was meant to be a shading color, and I ended up using it for the petals, and it was all wrong. All wrong. Totally wrong. Some days could screw up the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, that dark purple did look good with that background.
Yeah, but it's not working with the rest of those colors.
What was that purple?
It is brilliant purple. It's a great purple. It's nice, but it's just...
It wasn't dioxide?
No, it's this one.
Dioxazine?
Dioxazine. No, brilliant purple. It was so nice to see pictures of all the various shops getting their paint in. Various retailers, their paint's arriving from Decor. So we know that paint is getting out there. I know Chris Hoy's got her paint in, and Stockade got a bunch in. So
Well, we got somebody wondering what's the story of the sugar skull.
actually, a few years ago, I went on a trip to Bolivia. Went down to teach, and after I was done teaching, I had a wonderful guide named Ruben. He's just mi corazon. He's just one of the sweetest people. And he took me around to all the various museums and sites and whatnot. And one of the things that I got to see was the mummies from the caves up in the Andes Mountains, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. But what really got my attention was there was an altar in part of the display, and they had it covered with human skulls. And the skulls had been decorated, not with jewels or anything like that, but they had been decorated with things that were of value at the time or to the individuals at the time. And then skulls were lovingly arranged, and items of personal value were placed with them as a small sacrifice or as a small token. And they were given to ensure the comfort and well-being of their loved ones. Now, those were displays that were, a couple of thousands of years old at the time of the Mayans and the Aztecs. And then you jump forward to modern day Mexico and Central and South America, and you see remnants of that. And part of it is in the Day of the Dead. And it is a combination between their old native religion and Catholicism. So instead of trying to eradicate it, they allowed the natives, the Spanish allowed the natives at the time to sort of integrate some of the traditions. And one of which was the sugar skulls. And the sugar skulls were designed to give to children, actually, and they were made out of candy and they're decorated elaborately. But the skulls were that what they call the ofrenda is a I'm trying to think of the word. It's a we would call it a creche. It's an altar where they would arrange the skulls of their loved ones. Now they do it with photographs, but years ago it was done with skulls. They would arrange them because they believed that people only truly disappeared when they were forgotten. And so that is part of the tradition of the sugar skull, is it derives from a combination between Catholicism, old Catholicism, and the original native religions. I always found that fascinating. There's nothing morbid about it at all. It is all about love and honoring their ancestors. And it's an absolutely fascinating custom and culture. It just blows my mind that people who have been gone for centuries are still remembered. It's a very cool tradition. There's nothing morbid about it at all. But they decorated the skulls as the skulls would be decorated with items that were of value. So it could be almost anything. It could be, seeds or bits of fabric or bits of metal, whatever that they could provide. So it's quite fascinating. And then the altars would have gold coins and odds and sods and bits of lace, and I always found it very interesting. And I just sort of became mildly obsessed with creating them. Someone had asked me why in some cases, again, that there is a cross in some of my designs. And that's why, is because there is that element of Catholicism and Christianity that's involved in it. So it's fascinating. So this one, I'm just basing in these pearls with a coat of warm white. And you notice how they stay nice and round. There's a reason for that. I'm going to show you a great little trick for when you're tracing elements that have to be round. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's this. Whenever I'm tracing something, if I need to trace a circle, I'll use a shape maker or a template of some sort. Find the circle that's the appropriate size, and then I use the template to trace that instead of trying to freehand it. So what you end up with is a nice crisp, clean, perfectly round pearl or flower center. You're not fighting against it.
Well, Jason Rhodes. My first time catching Tracy live. Loved the skull and flowers. Very pretty and a little morbid.
No, they're not morbid. I don't find. I think they're fascinating. I think that the Day of the Dead is quite fascinating. The whole reasoning behind it, the whole culture behind it, the history behind it is fascinating. So when you use that template to trace nice round circles, you can paint nice round circles. And I'm using a rigger to base these. And again, it's because I can get that chisel edge, like when I'm lettering. So I end up with nice round pearls. It makes life so much simpler. I'm a big proponent of using tools to help you when you're painting. If you want things to be nice and round, you got to use something that's nice and round. Instead of this way, you don't have egg-shaped pearls.
I'm a sucker for zombie movies.
I liked Shaun of the Dead. That's about as zombie movie as just like it.
Humor.
I love British humor, and I just that movie just killed me. I thought it was hilarious.
Good parody on Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was so funny.
It's stuck in a bar instead of a mall.
Yep. Well, at least they could drink, you know.
Nothing like a good lock-in.
Yep.
Never experienced one of those until I got to Cyprus.
A lock-in?
A lock-in? I didn't know what the hell was going on.
So I'm almost done with this, and then all of our base coating should be done at this point. Nope, still have leaves to do. Good grief. So all of the base coating that I'm doing right now, remember this technique? So you could do all of that using that stencil technique that I showed you right at the very beginning. Just find the right sized circle and use a small stencil brush, and you could easily do it that way.
Yep.
And then you would end up with nice, perfect pearls. These will more than likely need a second coat because that blue is showing through quite aggressively.
I am one who always thought the skulls were morbid. Thank you for my re-education.
They're to me, they're fascinating. That when I saw them decorated, some of these skulls were, you know, over 1,000 years old. And they were decorated with, you know, tiny little odds and sods that people
Is that Bolivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing garish or ugly or even frightening about it once you understood the history behind it, right? So it was, I was fascinated and continue to be fascinated by it. And it's like tattoos. There's a lot of symbolism, I should say, involved in tattoos and skulls.
Yeah.
So
I'm still thinking about doing tattoos. I would have to learn a lot.
I want to get a skull tattoo.
Wow. I don't have a skull tattoo.
No, I want one.
I should get a skull tattoo. A skull.
Well, you should have something on there. Okay. I'm liking it.
I'm picky when it comes to my tattoos.
So am I.
I
have
my
to
next one
design
is going
them.
to be a Sailor Jerry style something.
So is mine, but it's going to be a skull.
Oh, you're getting the Sailor Jerry style skull?
Yep.
I was thinking the hula girl or the mom tattoo.
Okay, well, you go right ahead and get the mom tattoo. I'll be happy with that.
Classic heart with the mom on the scroll.
Yeah. Well, we painted Sailor Jerry, remember?
Yep.
For Valentine's Day.
That's
That was
right,
a fun
too.
piece.
Yeah.
We did some Sailor Jerry roses, and that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Get a skull tattoo.
Yeah.
Says Deb. Oh, Deb's in here. Good morning.
Hi, Button. So I'm going to dry this real quick, and then I have to do those blessed leaves. I kept ignoring them, hoping they would go away, but they didn't. And I didn't put out my antique green. Knocking things over today. So,
I have a skull tattoo. Didn't plan on getting it. Thanks, tequila.
who was that?
That's Jason Rhodes.
Oh, tequila is bad. Tequila.
Good tequila is good.
It's still very bad. Good tequila is very good, but it's very bad. Bad things happen. Bad things happen. Silly things happen.
I can't say I've never had really good tequila.
Oh, I have.
My
I
only
won.
experience with tequila has always been bad experience with tequila.
Oh, I
So.
won. Where the heck was I? Was that a show somewhere? Can't remember where. Oh, I was at the hardware show. That's what it was. In Denver, Colorado, a couple of years ago.
Deb.
What'd she say? Good Lord.
Far too much information, Deb. Tequila makes my clothes fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I injure myself every time I drink tequila. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, we've got a little leaf that goes right here. I'm just going to freehand that one in because I got my leaves in. Tequila makes her clothes fall off. After 16 months in lockdown, ain't no clothes falling off. They're probably cutting off the circulation at this
She's
point.
probably built up an immunity to tequila. I am now immune to all alcohol. It's a song. Tequila makes my clothes. I get it.
I won a bottle of Patron, a really nice bottle of Patron with a sterling silver bee on the decanter
Okay.
at a show one time. The bottle is still in my china cabinet. The tequila is not.
Too bad, yeah. I figured as much. I didn't realize it was a song. I thought you were being serious.
Well, one never knows with our Deb.
One never knows.
Alrighty, I think. Good gravy, Marie. I really don't want to paint leaves today. There we go. Okay. And apparently I don't want to paint pearls either because I just realized I missed one.
Oh, right. Deb doesn't drink.
No, she does not. Deb does not need to drink. We have a running joke when we go by, Sandy and I get our vodka or we get wine or what have you, and Deb gets the little like half size Coronas.
Oh, yeah.
They're Coronitos or something, little tiny ones. Anyway, they're like half the size.
Okay.
And she'll get a 6-pack of those and there'll be 5 of them left by the end of the show. And Deb and Sandy and I will be heading back to the liquor barn.
We're going back for seconds. It's day 2.
Yeah. Oh, we're not quite that bad. Not quite. Coronitos, that's what they're called. Little tiny Coronas.
Coronitas?
Coronitos, yeah.
Coronitas.
Cornitas, whatever. They're itty bitty. They're little half bottles. Yeah, she's such a boozer.
Such a lush.
A lush. Okay, finally we have all this bloody base coating done. Good God, Maud.
That was all just base coat?
I was just getting the base coating done. Mind you, we did all the shading on our skull. So these flowers they're really easy to paint. They're actually really fun to paint too because the shading and the highlighting get done and finish the flowers pretty much all in one go. So we're going to start with this blue one over here, and I'm going to use, oh, pardon me, I'm going to use a little bit of Prussian blue. And we're going to make these little petals. We're going to shade them close to the center, right in here. And essentially, I'm going to put a little cup of blue, just like that.
Is that the antique green?
Antique green is the color of the leaves. And it's just a little float of that Prussian. Like so. Okay, I got a little too much water in that brush. There we go.
Whiskey was my demon. Whiskey was
I don't drink anything brown. Bad things happen.
Whiskey was my my drink of choice. But good whiskey.
Yeah. So I'm using the Prussian blue just in that, towards the center of the flower. Just like that. So I'm going to lift this up so you can see it a little clearer. So it's just in that center. And I'm going to do the same thing in this pink one. That cotton candy. And I'm going to do that with just a little bit of, I think, what color did I use? Cinnamon drop in this one. I couldn't find any Tuscan red. In the fluid acrylics, I would have used primary magenta. And I'm going to do the same thing. So that darker pink tone is going to go right towards the center.
Might be new to Alberta. But ranch water has been around for a long time.
What the heck is ranch water?
It's tequila seltzer.
Oh, okay.
And they come in flavors like
Gotcha.
mango and guava and stuff like that.
Like a cooler.
Yeah, like a cooler,
Mhm.
except it's seltzer water.
Gotcha. So fizzy tequila.
Fizzy tequila, yep. Flavored.
Fizzy tequila. My question would be, do they have a margarita?
I don't know. But it's called ranch water.
Okay.
It's
So
been in Texas for a while.
there's our pink in there. And I'm going to use a little diox for this purple here. A little bit of diox purple.
I didn't see the green on the directions.
I'll have to have a look at that.
Write that down so you remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you have them right there.
And she's absolutely right. It's not in the supply list. I will
Oh.
have to fix that. Yeah. Bahama blue, warm white, Prussian blue, aqua sky, cotton candy, lilac, purple pizzazz, asphaltum, lamp black, persimmon, and titanium white, but no greens. Good catch. I think that deserves a prize.
Yeah,
It does.
we're gonna give Linda to Franco.
I've got a little stencil pack for Linda
Oh, there we go.
for
She's gonna fix
for
it.
fixing my pattern. So I'm doing the same thing with the diox purple. I'm taking it right to the edge of that center. And by putting the color on this way, if you have a close look at it, do you see that I'm not going edge to edge on that petal? I'm leaving a little space on either side. And what that does is it creates a little cup in each of the petals. So it just helps develop a little bit of dimension on those petals. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around and on all of these petals.
Orange breezer. Tasted like a creamsicle. That.
Isn't that rum?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do rum.
Bacardi.
Oh,
Right?
Bacardi Breezer, right.
Yeah, Bacardi orange breezers.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. I've
So-
had one of those, and they're far too sweet.
Yeah, I don't. I like a good mule.
A what?
A mule.
A
Moscow
mule?
mule.
Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like a good one, but it's got to be tart. I don't like the sweet. And the same with the margarita. I like a sour margarita as opposed to a sweet one. So there, I've got that dark purple, that diox in my petals. These flowers take shape very quickly once you start doing the shading and highlighting. So now we're going to go out to the edge of the petals, and we're going to do that with a little bit of warm white. And this is just a series. I gotta grab a smaller angle brush. Oh, there we go. This is just a series of small C strokes. So I'm going to load the brush with a little warm white and blend it well. Not quite full strength. I'd like it a little thinner. You don't want it too opaque. And when you come out to the end of this petal, there's those 3 bumps on the end of the petal. And we're going to put a little C stroke like so in each of those little bumps. And you're going to do that all the way around.
Bring it up to the camera a little bit so you can see
Yep.
what it looks like. There you go.
So it's essentially just a little C stroke, very short. So a little warm white, blend it well. And you're going to do this to the edge of all of these petals.
Oh, here's a good question. What can you mix to create warm white?
Light buttermilk and titanium white, 1:1. Will give you a nice warm white.
Is the pink one in the eye done the same way?
Yes, it is. I just forgot to put the shading in. So there is that little C stroke. Essentially, you're just highlighting it. I'm coming in from the edge of the petal, so it's not right on the edge. And you'll see why in just a minute.
Blah.
So there is our C stroke on each petal. And that is going to create sort of a ruffled effect. It's going to imply that there's a ruffled edge to those petals. So yeah, if you can't find warm white, mix light buttermilk with titanium white 1:1. And that will take care of it. And Miss Sandy made me that poster thing today. The other day, their neatness doesn't count, perfection is to be avoided at all costs.
Sandy made that.
Miss Sandy made it for me.
You decided on making it a sticker or a pin?
I don't know. I can't decide. Flat squirrel. But we're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
We've got some fun stuff coming up for you guys. See, and I like how this little bit of white just gives you a little punch of light. I'm collecting too many bottles on my tabletop. I'm starting to knock them over. Where are you going?
Give me a second.
He's adjusting cameras.
If it looks like the camera's having a seizure, it probably is.
What are you trying to do? Oh, you're adjusting. Ah.
Ah! Sorry. My bad.
Oops.
Give me 1 second. Nope, that didn't work. That's back the way he was. Crap. It's upside down. Find you. Ugh, there you go. We good.
Sorry, hopefully we didn't cause anybody any motion sickness. So
I'm glad to know it's you, not my end.
So there, I've got my little purple flowers done. I'm going to come up to this little guy here. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of that.
That actually fixed more problems than...
Okay. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that cinnamon drop. And I'm going to put just a little float of that color on this little flower in the eyeball. Like so. You needed just a little bit of color in there. And then I'm going to highlight that little flower the same way. These are just fun to paint. And ordinarily they're pretty quick to paint. Pretty quick to get done too, but I seem to be backtracking a lot today.
I think I now know... I think I know why you cannot sleep. Too many things going on and too many decisions and projects every day.
I was in a state of panic this week because I had so many things on my agenda, and I taught all last week, and a few things had to go the wayside, and then I had a schedule of things that I needed to get done this week, and then we ended up having a storm roll through here and knocked out our power for a day. So I had patterns to finish typing, I had images that needed scanning, I just way too much. And I was in a state of panic about whether or not it was all going to get done in time. It didn't, but it wasn't too terrible, but it was bad enough. But I'm still behind on a few things, so I need to get a bunch of stuff done this week. So I'm going to start shading all my pearls. Now, there's 2 ways to do these pearls. And I like this method. I like taking a little bit of Bahama Blue, and I'm going to shade this side of my pearl. Just one side with a little float. Doesn't even have to be neat and tidy. Just a quick float of asphaltum, or not asphaltum, sorry, Bahama Blue on one side, like so.
I'll show you what she does with all the completed projects after.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
They are on the walls, on furniture,
on the floor,
on the floor,
on the shelves.
On
It's
the
ridiculous.
Like we're just going to show you the completed projects that are in the studio.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's
There's
so
some
bad.
in the gym.
Yeah, my husband has them on the walls in the gym. Some are upstairs in the rest of the house.
Yeah.
There's drawers and boxes full of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So I used a little bit of Bahama Blue to shade one side, of these pearls.
You need a museum.
I need therapy is what I need.
I thought painting was therapy.
Yeah, it is. It's cheaper than a psychiatrist, I can tell you that.
Where do you buy the phone stands?
We have them on our website. There's a bunch on there. So that's all got a float of Bahama blue.
Yeah, there's a few under bed.
Oh yes, there's stuff everywhere. So there we are. And now that that's dry, I'm going to take a little bit of thinned asphaltum, a very small amount. I'm going to thin it out. And I'm going to float right over that blue with just a weak float of that asphaltum. A little too weak. There we go. So little float. It's just enough to deepen it a little bit. We don't need it to be absolutely perfect. It's just going to deepen that color a little.
My finished art has made my house an obstacle course.
I can relate.
One even became a table beside the couch.
So now I'm going to take my small angle and a little bit of titanium white. And put a little bit of glaze on that brush. So I've got a small angle, little bit of titanium white. I'm going to just float a small highlight on the opposite side. And that little float of white, and I went to titanium because it's going to be a bit brighter than the warm white. And the opacity is going to give you a nicer transition. It's going to mute that first shadow. So if that first shadow is not as pretty as you would like, this is going to subdue that a little bit, which is what we want.
So Lorraine says, some of us would like some of your painted items. Could use as weekly giveaways. We have done that in the past.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So it may happen in the future. There also may be something in the I won't say near future.
Yeah, because we don't know yet.
Because we don't know yet, and the last time we tried to do it, it didn't pan out because the recipient didn't want to contact us. But a possible charity stream auction thing.
So there is our pearl. Now you can, from here, you can do a couple of things. So if you really want these to look quite shiny, you can take a little dab of titanium white and just add a dot onto each pearl.
My hubby bought me a small building in order to corral my obsession. Win-win for me. Win-win for us both.
So I'm just using a tiny dot to make those pearls look just a little bit more realistic. So we've got that nice shiny bit. So I'll dry that. And then we're going to tackle those leaves because I keep ignoring them for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Did you still use Bahama blue even if you had a different color palette?
Yes. On whites, I like the blue. That blue undertone it just works well for this type of thing, regardless of what the rest of your color palette is like.
I have 2 painted milk cans in my living room.
Oh, I love milk cans. They're hard to come by these days.
Oh, the old style.
The old style milk cans, yeah, they're hard to find.
Didn't you have one?
I did once upon a time.
I thought for sure we had one laying around for a while.
Oh, we did. So I'm going to use a little bit of, I'm using a little sap green. I usually use plantation pine for this, but I don't have any. So sap green it is. So I'm going to load my, I've got a 3/8 angle for this. I'm going to shade underneath my flower on the leaves with just a float of that sap green or plantation pine. And on those little leaves, I just do a little shadow at the base where it would join the stem. There's no need to be overly detail oriented on that. So I'm going to take my pieces to work to show coworkers someone always buys them, even if I wanted to keep it for myself. I made the mistake of taking a couple of hand-painted ornaments to a friend of mine one time. He owned a bakery. And he ended up, he asked me to paint ornaments for his gift baskets for Christmas time. And in the 6 weeks leading up to Christmas, I think I painted over 1,200 ornaments. And I thought, oh, well, we'll never do that again. So I just put a little shadow down the center vein of each of these leaves with that plantation pine or sap green in this case. And I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to use just a little of that. Ordinarily, I would use like margarita or olive green or matcha green, but I can't reach my matcha green. So I'm going to use, this is celery shoot. This is a new decor color. It's a very pretty shade of green. Might be a little too opaque for what I want to do, but that's all right. We'll just keep it under control. It's a small highlight on these leaves. Just on that center vein and again on the upper curve, like so. And on the points of these small leaves. I don't do a lot on them, but just enough so that there is a change in the color. So just a small float and then one down the center vein, just to give it a punch of light. And that's all I'm going to do for those leaves. So that's awesome. I love it. So we're going to grab, where is my, I had a 15-aught or a 10-aught extra long detail liner in the Micron. That's this one. I love these. And I'm going to use a little of that antique green and I'm going to mix it with that celery shoot. I just want to make a slightly muddy green. I don't want it as dark as the leaves and I don't want it as, you know, as light as that celery shoot is. I'm going to thin it out a little bit. I would use olive green or matcha green for this part. So this is just for these little vines and tendrils and these little lines around my leaves. I like these little details. I like these just loose little vines. The fun part about using one of these, you know, a really good liner is that you can do this very easily, like working with a pencil or a pen if you've got a good liner. If you have one that doesn't want to follow a line, it, you know, takes off left of center and does whatever it wants, those can be really frustrating. So when you get a liner, especially an extra long one like this, that has such nice flex and nice snap, it doesn't do nasty things. So there's our liner. Now I like I like little coils, like so, nice and fine.
Does Tracy ever paint rosemary pieces?
Rosemary.
Stroke work pieces?
Oh, rose mauling? No, I don't. I've never been much for stroke work. I have really good brush control. Have practiced, and I think stroke work is essential to being a really good decorative artist. Learning that brush control is what stroke work teaches you. But stroke work never really appealed to me as an art form. I admire it when I see someone who does it well, like Linda Sharp is just amazing at stroke work. And there's a number of artists that are exceptional at rose mauling. And Zostema is another style that I greatly admire. Not one that I paint, but one that I greatly admire. So now we're going to do a little bit of line work. And again, this is where that little liner brush comes in very handy. We're going to add a loose detail to the edges of these petals. And it is very loose. It is not precise. It's just a loose, scribbly line around the edges of these petals.
You ready?
Am I ready for what? Oh, he's spinning the wheel. You should turn the volume up on that so they can hear the applause. Molly Ann Stocks is one of the winners of one of our prize packs today.
Molly Ann Stocks. Which one's she getting? I don't know
Just
which one's
pick.
which.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Surprise pack.
Yeah, it's a surprise pack. So each one, I will tell you, this has a stencil from DecoArt, and it has a stamp from Deb Antonik and Stampers Anonymous. Oh my gosh, Stampendous.
Molly Ann Stocks.
Molly Ann Stocks. So Molly Ann, go to our website on the front page, lower right-hand corner, you will see a little speech bubble. Click on that and then send us a message with your shipping information and we will get your prize back out to you. So I'm going to do this loose little line work all the way around all of these flowers. Neatness doesn't count. Perfection is to be avoided at all costs.
Holy crap. My list just doubled.
Yep, we have 3 to give away today, so make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Let us know where you're watching from. So having shown you how to do this with the liner brush, now I got to show you something else because I got a new toy this week that I got so excited about. So you know I like my my Uniball Signos. I got these this last week. These are flippin' amazing. So all that little fine liner work that I was just showing you. Look at this. Ta-da! Now you can do it with a pen. I love this. I just think this is the coolest thing since cookies. That I can do it with a pen. And I love how opaque this pen is. It's flippin' awesome. Look at that. And just like my black gel pen, I love that those little scribbly details. It's just super easy to do. And they're nice and white, nice opaque white.
Here we...
Oh, another one. Judy Thacker. So Judy, Same deal, darling. Make sure you go to our website, send us a message with your shipping information, and we'll get your goodies out to you. So, pardon me, I'm losing my voice again. So there is that little gel pen. So if you're, not really thrilled about doing that with a liner brush, you can do it with the little Uniball gel pen. I love it.
Get out.
Jason Rhodes is the winner of the third one. So you can do the same thing as Judy and Molly Ann. Go to the website, lower right-hand corner, click on the little speech bubble and send us your shipping information, and we will get your goodies out to you. I just found one of those. My vast supplies problem was dried up and couldn't be used. Wow, didn't even finish this. Thank you. Awesome sauce. Yeah, these things are awesome. And the other one, I gotta show you this. So I got the white ones in. I have the usual black ones that I use all the time and for everything. And then Carol Manhart, lovely lady, had asked me if they had a red one with that fine point. And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll have to find out. And this is what she uses it for, is tracing your line drawing on so you know where you've been. I thought that was flippin' brilliant. So we've got those up on the website too in the red. These are fantastic. So it'll help you trace and transfer. You'll see where you've been so you don't miss anything. I need that because I'm forever having to check. It's just, I'm knuckleheaded sometimes. But yeah, I love these for this. That little fine point on there in the 0.38, super fine, traces things on really nicely, nice and clean with a fine line. It's much easier to get rid of that fine line than it is a heavy, thick one. And that's why I like these so much. So now I have the red one so that I can see where I've been and I'm not forgetting things. So now we've got our white lines around that. And now we've got to put some fun stuff in the centers of those flowers. I'm going to do that with my rigger. And I'm going to start with a little bit of asphaltum on this one. And I like to take those dots out onto the petals a little bit.
Jessica had to leave early. Killerin. Apparently these people of mine will never let me finish the show.
Poor Jessica. So it is a random little dots, and just bring them out up a little towards the top, but I like to make sure that they go out onto the petals just a little, like so, so that when you take your warm white, and we're going to do that, this is your highlight, you're going to do the same thing. Those whites are going to intermix with those ones in the middle and come out onto the petals. And this will give you a nice soft center.
I use ballpoint pens before tracing, but they always have such a flat point.
Yep.
Fat point.
These ones are an ultra fine point, so you get a nice sharp line. I don't like styluses for that reason. I find they leave too thick, chunky a line. So, oopsie daisy, I forgot.
What'd you do?
I get too excited.
Or
I forgot to put the bloody dots down here. Forgetting
dots?
all the little dip dots. And I did the center. I'm just ignoring the center altogether today. It's like the leaves. It's like, pfft, whatever. So I get into that warm white. I'm going to put in my dip dots. I like my little dip dots. They have to interact, like intersperse with some of the dark ones. Otherwise, it looks too contrived. But it makes for nice soft centers. So we've got one more little thing to do down here, and then we're going to do some finalized things. On the pattern, there's 3 words: dream, inspire, and create.
Do the riggers actually say rigger on it?
Yes, they do.
Yes. Yes, the rigger brushes do say
They say rigor.
They say rigger.
Yeah.
And then the side. I love my little micron pens. You can take the house and the dogs, but don't touch my micron pens.
Yep. So you just have to decide which word you want to use for your piece. And I think I'm going to use maybe create or inspire. Which one should I use? Inspire. I think today it's inspire. I feel inspired. So I'm going to cut mine out, but I'm not going to cut it straight across because that would be boring. And it would be imperfect. Too perfect, and don't want that. God forbid. So I've got mine. And I want to put mine right about there. So I'm going to get out my matte medium. Da-da-da-da. So I have my matte medium and my little spray bottle. And I'm going to float mine. I'm going to put a shadow across the bottom of my inspire with a little bit of asphaltum. And not a ton. I'm going to blend it so that it's about to float. And I'm just going to float a little of that asphaltum right across the bottom of my paper.
Yeah, you ain't touching my dog. You can have whatever craft supplies I have. I'm not getting my dog.
So once that paper is wet, I like to get it wet. You can use the little spray bomb with some water to do this, but this is such a tiny piece, I'm just going to use my brush.
Losing your voice. Gargle with tequila. It'll fix everything. You won't be able to talk.
Well, I'll be able to talk. Nobody will be able to understand me. So I'm going to brush a little bit of my matte medium on there, and then I'm going to lay my word right into the matte medium, and then I'm going to immediately brush a little matte medium right over top of it. So there we go. I'm going to dry this. Let me close my matte medium here. I'm going to dry this because all those dip dots are wet and that matte medium is wet. And then I'm going to put a coat of matte medium over everything. It's going to seal everything in nice and tight. I love this little heat gun. This is just the best thing since cookies.
Oh, yeah. Isn't Sandy having a sale?
She's got them on her website, yes. That was subtle.
Infomercial style.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wait, that's not all. Yeah.
With 6 easy payments of right arm and left leg.
You know, Sandy, if you're looking for these, Sandy has them up on her website. I love this thing.
That's why I can't do commercials.
No, that's why you shouldn't do commercials. There's a difference. So, there, my feet's dry. So I'm going to brush a coat of matte medium over everything just to seal everything in. Because I'm going to take my pen to this. And the pen does not like matte medium. Or actually the matte medium doesn't like the pen. So if I seal this first, everything will be protected. And my pen is going to move so smoothly.
Is there a code for Sandy's site?
I don't know. I don't think she has a coupon code up.
Just a great price.
But Sandy's on there. Yeah, it is a great price. I mean, it's already...
I think Sandy's there. Sandy, you still here? She most likely is.
So I've got one coat of matte medium over top of everything. I'm going to dry this real fast. I love matte medium. Oh my gosh, I just smeared my white ink. Duh. I'll fix it. I forgot, my ink was on there. I should have done this afterwards. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer today, let me tell you.
You carry the gold paint pens in your store. I bought one from Michael's.
I don't have them on my store, but you can get them on Amazon. I'm gonna fix my white ink here now that I've completely messed it up. Choop, choop, choop. There we go. So,
What was it?
I didn't give my ink a chance to dry, and I just smeared it all over my piece. So I'm going to take my black gel pen. This is, you guys know me, I like to outline things with that sketchy line. Nice and light. And this pen works so smoothly over top of that matte medium that you can clean up a multitude of sins. It's easy peasy.
Perfect for a Spanish teacher. Okay.
What the
I don't know. I don't know what it's in reference to. Sorry, I'm here. I was adding a code.
Oh.
Tracy M, all caps, 10% off today through the end of July.
There you go. Thanks, Sandy. That was awesome.
Everybody.
So nice. You get 10% off when on Sandy's site until the end of July, and just use the word Tracy.
Tracy M.
Tracy M.
All caps.
All caps. That's so cool. So I've got, now let's see if my pen will work now. Hello. Yes.
What is the brand name of the gold paint pen?
It is a Deco Color gold paint pen. That's the one I use for the edges of things. I love it. This is it here. This is a Deco Color premium gold paint pen. You can get these on Amazon. Cheap like borscht on Amazon. And I use them for doing these edges of my phone stands and ornaments and whatnot, because those edges are a pain. So I just take that gold paint pen and go all along the edge of it, like so. And it'll probably need to be primed a little bit. But this is like a super easy way of finishing off the edges of your projects.
Okay. Is the micron liner you use called the X long detail?
Yes, the extra long detail liner. And I use the 10-aught and the 15-aught. Those are the two sizes that I use the most. So I like taking my little gel pen and I just accentuate a few things. This is such an easy way to crisp up a design just by taking that gel pen and going around a few little details. And then I've got my white opaque. This was so silly. Can't believe I did that. And I'll just fix up my goof here. I just didn't let my ink dry. And just promptly messed it all up. So, but the nice part is that it is just ink, so you can go back in with your pen and pop those details back in really easily.
I've used the Krylon gold ink pen for years. How do they compare?
I like the Krylon one too. The big difference is, for me, this one is $6.99. And the Krylon pens start at $10, and I've seen them as high as $16. They get pretty pricey. And these ones are made by Yoshida, so it's a good quality paint. And the tip is great. It has the same function, works the same way as the Krylon one. This one, it's the price point, and it has such a brilliant metallic. I love the color, so. And that price point is very nice. Now, if I can find the other piece to this phone stand. There we go.
So you done?
So then all we have to do is put our phone stand together. Now, which brings me to a little point. A lot of us get very heavy-handed with paint, and we'll end up with a ridge in there, and it's difficult to get this piece through that wedge. And I want to show you a really simple little trick. Works like a hot damn. So all you need is an emery board nail file. And you just literally shove it in there and go back and forth like so. And it will sand off those rough edges where the paint has accumulated. And you just work it back and forth. And then you can pull it out. And this piece will drop right in. So easy fix solution for when you've managed to get paint down inside your piece. So now that I have that put together, I have one last step, and most of you probably already know what it is. So you're not going to be at all surprised by this. I'm going to spatter mine a little bit because it is, after all, skulls. It needs to be aged a little. So I'm going to use a little bit of asphaltum on a fugly brush. And I'm going to spatter this just lightly. I'm not going to use a ton of it. Just a little asphaltum on there, just to age it a little bit. And I'm going to do that again with a little bit of white. And I'm going to use warm white for this. I'm almost out of warm white. So I got a little bit of warm white on my brush, and I'm going to give it just a light spatter with some warm white. Now I'm going to dry mine. And this is just such a fun little project. It's easy to do. It's, a great way to spend a couple of hours in the afternoon. Throw a movie on Netflix, just sit there and relax and paint a piece. And there you go. We've got this fun little phone stand. Now, on my website, there are a whole bunch of, I have quite a few of these. One of my favorites is called Winter is Coming. And it's in a pattern on Sandy's website that Sandy and Deb and myself, we three friends, collaborated. We each did a phone stand in there. So you can go and check out that. It's one of my favorites. I really love that particular one. So you can check that out on Sandy's website. There's a number of the phone stand kits, the various bees.
I'll switch cameras.
Okay.
Well, give me a second.
What did you do?
For some reason, this camera decided to
Go to sleep?
go to sleep.
Oh, well.
You can
So-
keep talking. I fix it.
You go ahead and fix it. But on my website, we have a bunch of kits. And if there's a stencil required or a stamp required or what have you, it's included in the kit. So you can go and check those out. They're all on, I think they're $20 a kit. And they include your phone stand, any special stencils or what have you that are required to do the piece are included in that kit. We also have this one available as a kit, and it includes a 1/4-inch stencil so that you can do your pearls easily. And he's still working,
There
isn't
you
it? There I am. See, leave it to the tech god over there.
God? No.
So we have a whole bunch of really fun little kits in there, different phone stands and whatnot. A couple of my favorites are the ones with the bumblebees and the daisies. Those are my faves. And of course, the one with skulls on it. So there's those. We put all of those on sale. Same with a lot of the M Square. We have some of my favorites are all on sale as well. And what else? Don't forget to use that coupon code when you're on the Brush Guy site. If you're ordering brushes, Tracy, capital Tracy, capital M. That will give you an additional discount on anything that you order from the Brush Guys. Sandy was good enough to give us the coupon code, so it's Tracy M. And that will give you 10% off anything on her site.
All caps.
All caps, yeah. That will give you 10% discount on her site. Miss Deb has got a great sale going on her website for the holiday weekend. So go and check that out. The coupon code is Canada US. So everybody will get a great discount there. She's got tons of great Stampenda stamps and oodles of really cool designs on her site as well. And what else? Did I miss anything?
Well, you have it written here with Canada US, but the U is got an umlaut.
I know. Sorry, I scribbled.
Scribbled?
I scribbled. It's just Canada US.
Canada US?
Yeah.
And it's a huge sale.
Yeah, she's got a whole bunch of stuff on sale.
Huge.
And she's got a lot of Stampenda stamps on her site. Lots.
You even wrote huge.
Yeah, huge. I did. Yeah, it's a huge sale. We've also got new stamps and everything on my site as well. So there's a whole bunch of new stuff on ours. And I think that's it.
You think?
I think. Everybody, we've got our prize winners this week. Molly Ann Stocks and Judy Thacker and Jason Rhodes. Don't forget to send us your shipping information. I think that's everything, guys. Thanks for joining us again this weekend. Do us a favor, just check out the website, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and
consider becoming a member.
And join us right here next Saturday. We've got another free live class for you. Lots of fun, lots of entertainment.
Why did you look at me?
Because you're entertaining. That's
okay.
I never know what's coming out of there.
You don't want to know.
Sometimes I don't.
I have a filter again.
No, you don't. Yeah, you do. You've been behaving yourself. My filter broke a long time ago.
Yeah, but you also have a filter when it comes to this.
So yeah, that's true.
I have a filter when it comes to this too.
Okay. All right, guys, that's it for us for another Saturday. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Mwah. Love you. Stay safe.